I'm confused. I'm not sure if the world around me is confusing and I'm not seeing clearly, or if it's the world of thinking that is confusing. I don't feel confused when I look at a red piece of yarn and I see that it is red. And I don't feel confused when I hear the sound of my voice and I hear the sound that it makes. I do feel confused when I try to grasp thoughts, when I try to form coherent sentences and convey information in a way that is maybe more complex than I myself can understand. I feel confused when I don't grasp what is happening now and in the next moment and in the next moment, and I'm not able to string those moments together to form a memorable storyline that allows me to digest it, process it, and move on to the next event, having learned something of what just transpired that will inform my next move. I don't really feel smart or with it or aware or awake or cognizant or any of these kinds of words, implying that I know what's going on and that I'm paying good attention. Or how do we really know if anyone is with it? Is it that they have a sharper senses than we do so that they can notice more movements in the environment more quickly than us, and therefore we trust them? Is it whether they're able to jump from one topic to the next topic and somehow make it make sense and find how one thing is related to another thing? Like, hey, I was at a pond yesterday and there were fish in the pond, and fish live underwater, which means that they don't breathe air, which means that they must breathe something else like water. And I guess that there's some way that they do that. And what I remember, this is the first point in the talk when I don't actually, I'm even more confused than I was when I started. Because I can't even come up with a metaphor to illustrate a point that I don't even know what the point is. So how could I come up with an appropriate metaphor when I don't even know what point I'm trying to make? I guess that it's important to me that you realize just how ignorant I actually appear to be. When I speak, I don't think before I speak. That doesn't mean anything. If I am going off track, I don't know where the track was to begin with. So I'm always on track. But the where and the how and the why of what this train is doing and where it's going is unknown to me. And I don't feel like there's a schedule printed on the wall that says which stop is coming up next. It's more like a train that's going off into the middle of nowhere, and it doesn't lead back to civilization. It just keeps going into the middle of nowhere. So the longer you stay on the train, the further away you get from anything that you ever knew before. It's all uncharted territory. And people at a certain point usually say, I think I'm going to get off the train now. And then they get off, and that's where they are. Some people will stay on longer and longer. For some of us, it's almost a stubborn, at this point, exercise in egoic clinginess. Well, I'm going to last longer than everyone else. And in a funny way, that's also the bodhisattva vow from Buddhism, which says that I'm not going to awaken personally because there are other people in the world who are not awakened. And so I will stay in the world as long as it takes for all of us to awaken at the same time or in sequence, or I don't know exactly how that works. I'm not a Buddhist expert or something. So, but I think I've lost the thread of this conversation again. I feel like people watching this will think to themselves, I wish that they could do better, referring to me. I wish that he or they or she or whatever could do better, because they're clearly struggling. I'm not struggling, but they're lost. They're confused. They don't know what they're talking about. Maybe someday they will, or maybe they. It's like that with awakening and enlightenment too, right? We have it already. We're already that, everything like that. Now I'm poo-pooing it because I don't, I'll be honest, I don't care. And I don't want to know, and I don't have any interest in what people are saying about awakening or enlightenment. And maybe in the very early days, I was interested in those kinds of things. And not to say that I just don't care. So I want to be, I want to be distant from that. It's not something that I'm interested in. It's like a flavor of ice cream that I don't like or something. Pistachio? I don't know. But give me a break, give me a break. So I guess what I wanted to say is that I have no idea. And whatever is coming out of my mouth right now is just piecing together strings of little pieces of garbage that I found somewhere along the way. And I'm trying to reach for some interesting little jewels to put onto this little string that I'm making here. And yet I'm finding that, well, I can see how my mind wants to go down all these well-worn paths. And oftentimes they're really self-limiting or repetitive. Sometimes they're pretty crummy feeling. They're what we would call negative or bad vibes. And I'm sitting here in this conversation just trying, I guess, to keep the conversation alive, keep the words going, so that somehow or another, maybe I will stumble upon, I think, something, and then another thing, and then all of a sudden a great thought arises, or I'm awakened, or I'm self-reflecting, or illuminated, or there's enlightenments are happening, or epiphanies, or great aha moments are happening. And I don't consciously think I guess I'm looking for that. I'm looking for some kind of aha moment because that's what happened in the past. And I guess that's the only way I know, or that's not true. I've held on for so long that I don't even know what letting go would look like or feel like. And I'm 100% terrified to do so. And for some reason, I guess that means I'm stuck because I have let this problem go on for so long that it became somaticized. In other words, in the body. And I let myself get hurt very badly and sick. And I don't want to talk about that because I don't want to give it any more voice or weight than it already has in my situation. And it's a very heavy thing that I would like to let go. I want to be able to kind of travel more lightly than I am right now. And I'm noticing that so far, I feel like the fact that I keep talking and not really taking any space to breathe, it's like I'm afraid of what's going to come up in the silence. I feel like a fraud. I don't feel authentic. I feel like my whole personality is a mask. It's fake. I feel like my whole personality is a frozen stuckness, like a defensive mechanism, like someone was about to hit me with a giant club and I went like that, and I got stuck in that, and that my mask is just this and that my whole that this is what I have experienced for a long 40-year period of, or I don't know if it's exactly all 40 years, but when I feel clunky when I talk about time and years and numbers. I'm like, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It just seems odd. Words also seem odd. I feel like a fraud. This whole act that I'm putting on here on YouTube, I'm putting on an act. You know what I mean? This is a persona that you're seeing here. This is not really my actual persona. And I don't even know what that is because I hide from everyone all the time. I mask, as they would say in modern parlance. I'm not on the spectrum, but I think that lots of people can mask in different ways. So I don't, this person that you're seeing here talking right now is in pain. This person is experiencing disconnection, confusion, a lack of happiness or meaning, or I'm just not okay. But I know that I'm okay, but it's inner conflict. I'm okay, I'm not okay. And we have to hold those things together. I really feel like there must be a way through this. Because if there's not, then why would I stay alive and find out? There must be a way through this. And I'm absolutely going to figure out, I'm going to see to it that I get through this. And when I do, I will be happy. And that is something that we can all appreciate because we all want to be happy. Desire is something we understand. I want that. Happiness is something we understand. It's that feeling of peaceful, safe, joy, okayness, belonging. So we have that feeling, and then we have the feeling of, I want that. I want that. So the feeling is here. Peacefulness, safety, joy, happiness. Then the desire is, what is it? To give that away? Oh, here, would you like to have some of my happiness? I don't need it. You can have it. Is that what I'm doing? Oh, I'm looking for some other happiness, not the one that I already have. I'm looking for some other one. So I'll just keep giving mine away because it's not for me, right? The happiness that I already have, that's not for me. I'm looking for some other happiness that people have when they have a more attractive looking face or a better, healthier body or some kind of other external situation that causes them to maybe make more money or make more friends more easily or any of these kinds of things. The happiness that, I already have a happiness right here. But is that good enough? Is it? Well, is there any other happiness I can get? If there's a better one than this, I think I would probably keep looking for it. I guess, so I'm seeking some external form of happiness. And I want to give that to myself. I want to take that other external thing into my heart and keep shoveling it in there so that eventually I'll be full of good feelings. And whatever it is that I already have, I'm just giving it away. I don't want this. You guys want it? You guys want it? Have it. Take all of it. Because, so I feel like I'm like, my happiness, my feelings is, I don't know, whatever. It's mediocre. It's mid. It's mid. So I don't really, I'm trying to trade my mediocre or mid happiness for someone else's better version of that. Like theirs is probably better than mine because they look happier than I do. They are more physically attractive by conventional standards than I am. They have better bone structure than I do. They have better teeth than I do. They have better skin. They have better hair. They have all kinds of things that I don't have that I would consider to be better. And so I want those things. Put those in my heart. I want to take those things and put them in my heart, where once I fill that space in my heart with all these good external things, then I will show everyone, look at me. Look how cool I am. Look how great I am. Look how beautiful I am. Ah ha 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 ha. And I would expose that and say, wow, isn't that amazing? Look at me. Look at me now. I look like those other people who are really cool, sexy, fun, happy, all those things. Now that'll show everyone, they didn't think I was cool and they made fun of me and they bullied me. But now that I've got all these great things and then I've collected them and hoarded them, and now I can show everyone, look what I got. Now you will accept me, right? Now you will accept me. Now I will be happy. I will be better than you because I have all these things. I'll be more than you. I'll have so many things, I'll have to give them away, which isn't that what I'm already doing? I told you I was giving away my happiness, which gross. My happiness is poop. My happiness is low level. It's crap. It's no good. So, and the thing is no matter how much I give it away, I can't seem to get rid of it. Because it's, I guess, maybe there's a lot of it. It just keeps coming out. Here it is. Here's some more of it. Here's some more of it. And maybe it's not so bad. Maybe I have to get used to it. Maybe eventually I will learn to appreciate what I have. And when I do, then I will feel like satisfied and I will feel content. And then I won't actually really need to do anything other than just be open and show my true nature and walk through the world with an open heart and open arms and lose the fear and not be afraid of death, not be afraid of loss, not be afraid of pain, not be afraid of sickness and disease and crippling injuries and disabilities, and not be afraid of all those things. Just walk. Because I don't know. I'm just trying to hype myself up maybe. Or why do I have to figure it out right now? Well, why can't I just let it be like that? Because this is not good enough. This is certainly not good content, or at least it doesn't feel that way. It feels like I want to be pretty judgmental about this. Or at least if I can make a good joke about it, then people will, like, I want to be liked. I don't really want to be liked. I don't want people to see me, but at the same time, I do want to be liked as myself. And how will I know if people will like the real me if I'm not willing to show it? I don't know how to even begin with that process. Like, because this, whatever you're seeing right now, how would I know? Is it? It doesn't feel like the real me. And maybe I'll look back and say, yeah, that wasn't the real you, or you were doing the best you could, or at least you tried, or I don't know, some kind of thing like that. It seems like I feel like most people are not this self-analytical or self-reflective where they're constantly like thinking about themselves, judging themselves, trying to figure out themselves. And people, I don't know though. Why am I saying that? Because I don't know people. How many people do I actually really know? There's a few folks in my life that I sort of know on some depth, but I don't even know myself. How could I know people if I don't even know myself? I guess, why don't I try to figure out, or I keep saying figure out as if I'm some kind of problem that needs to be solved, but like, why don't I try to see myself or just be myself? Is that okay? Oh, I feel like I gave it my best shot here. I don't know if I did any authenticity or if I did any authenting. I, I feel like I don't know if I actually managed to be authentic during this video. Maybe I did, maybe I didn't. I don't think I did, but I'm going to keep trying. I owe it to myself. And eventually, I mean, is this always is this always going to be an act? Even if I feel authentic, is it still going to be an act just because of the fact that I'm, I guess, performing on a camera? Or and can I actually bridge that gap and the real me can show up here? I'd like to think so. And I'll do that on the next video. Stay tuned, okay, guys? Bye. Always kicking the can down the road.